Okay, hello. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're having a good day. I watched United's draw against what's the name of this team, Burnley, and I noticed a few interesting things about the match. I realized that United controlled the game for really they controlled most of the game, but I think Burnley knew what they were doing because one of the things I noticed, especially in the first half, was that Rashford seemed a bit isolated. And I think that's a clever move by the manager because Rashford is always someone who's finding space. He's always drifting in between lines. He's always running in between defenders. And so he's someone who is hard to keep track of. And he's someone who has good link up play. And at the same time, he has some speed and quite some good finishing. So isolating Rashford meant no proper communication with Lukaku. It also meant Pogba and Mata having to come forward and then somehow leaving the defense a bit exposed. But the problem is this: as despite the fact that United's centre midfield kept coming forward, they still kept the ball between them. They still controlled the game. And so, as the game wore on, yes, Burnley was able to get 2 goals. But this is where you see the prowess of United's centre midfield. And before you knew what was happening, they were always overrunning the Burnley midfield. And well, to some extent, due to a bit of luck, the first goal was a penalty. The second one was a set piece, but then they overloaded Burnley's defense. So in the case of Leicester City, I think they should do much better than Burnley. Firstly, because Leicester has a more physical team than Burnley does. I mean, just look at Leicester's midfield and their defense. So Matic and Pogba would not have the opportunity to bully their teammates bully the opponents as they were able to do with Burnley. And if Lukaku comes on, he wouldn't have as much of a chance as well. Lukaku thrives on proper passes. He's not a playmaker. He's not someone who's able to create chances and all of that. All he has is his speed, his strength, and his finishing, which sometimes doesn't go so well. So the reason I chose this lineup for Leicester City is because I want Leicester City to be able to counter United's midfield movement. I think they're able to do so. Again, we have a physical midfield as well. So I moved Ndidi towards the center. Of course, he's going to continue with his central midfield roles, but I'm using him against people like Matic and Pogba. Also with Mendy, the same thing, because both of them, if they're able to mark them well, it's not very easy to completely mark Pogba out, but if you can restrict Pogba's passing and you can restrict Matic's movement, you have a very good chance of starving United's attackers off the ball. And it's not just that. I'm going to task especially Chilwell and Simpson. Well, with both of the center midfielders, talking about Silva and Ndidi, to make sure they isolate Rashford and Martial. If you're able to isolate these two guys who keep running in between the lines, then whoever is at the top, whether it's Rashford or Lukaku, however all goes with United lineup, if you're able to starve those guys, the guys who are able to keep running, then their striker is going to be left isolated. If you notice in the first half, United kept taking shots from outside the box, even up to the second half, because they didn't have so much of a foothold in Burnley's defense, and it made them, get so desperate that they began to run offside. There were about 4-5 offside calls. I haven't seen that many offside calls in a long time. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I believe Leicester can actually hold up to a draw, even beat United. And the reason I put Ian Achebe in front is because he has an eye for a pass. Yes, there are times when he hasn't been so good, but he has an eye for a pass, and he's quite accurate. And more than any other thing too, he might not be as strong as Vardy, but he can use that to his advantage. Why? Because people like Phil Jones and Lindelof, or I don't know who's going to be their defender, they are quite physical. And if Iheanacho is able to play his cards well, he could actually win free kicks or penalties in such dangerous areas. It just depends on how he's able to hold up with his gameplay and all of that. So let's see how this match goes.
And we're underway. So Jim, who would you identify as the key man in this fixture?
I feel I've got to mention David De Gea, one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Iker Casillas himself has tipped him to be his long-term successor, and that's heady praise indeed.
He would be the obvious choice, wouldn't he? He's had a shot!
Yep.
It's there!
You can see the stretch. That's been having three people running at you tends to stretch the defense. And you had four people. You had three people. If you count Ndidi, who was supplying the pass on the right, on the left, that's four people running at the defense. And so it's confusion. And of course, Iheanacho was there, preventing the other two defenders from trying to catch up with Vardy. So that's his role, one of his main roles, to be a distraction.
So we have our breakthrough.
Yeah, and they know there's plenty of work left in this one, Peter, before they can actually say that the job is over.
And the Herrera. Played out to the right. Lingard. It's a goal kick. Oh, good interception. Played into the middle. Matic knocks it away. And it's Gray. Ndidi. Over to the left. Vardy! Oh, and they really should have been made to pay. Now it's Vardy.
So this is why put so many people around Pogba.
Just the early goal here, and
because it's difficult for one person to defend against him. Pogba is not the kind of player Pogba is not easy to find so much in this age, because it's rare that you find such a player who's strong,
coming up to half
skillful,
time, leading
and fast.
Pretty good. Now it's Vardy. Lovely feet. How about a shot? And he's there to cut it out. Rashford.
Just to point out, Peter, that the fullbacks are quite high.
And what are they trying to achieve?
Well, it's obviously a move to push.
We've reached half-time. So there you have it, a close fought half of football, but one that still had its moments. It ultimately produced just one goal. A more than decent game up to now.
Well, you obviously have to give credit to the front men for the half-time lead, but I think the midfield can really pat themselves on the back too.
Now Sanchez has come in, so I have to be more alert.
Leading a cagey game here. It's had its moments, and it's
because Sanchez is probably one of the fastest players in the team.
Of the resumption of the second half.
And so if I can frustrate Sanchez,
that has been the crucial difference.
I'll be able to affect his aim.
Maguire does well to read it and intercepts. Mondi. And it's Silva. Iheanacho. Adrian Silva. Simpson. Pushes
You
it
can
out
see how many
wide.
people are in the box waiting for a pass.
Now it's He'll have it!
Ah, Vardy.
Oh, nearly, but nearly is nothing.
Vardy certainly could have and should have made more of that.
So now we're going to get those changes we have been expecting.
Well, you have to feel a little for the player being taken off here.
Now
I think he's been
Fellaini's
made the
coming.
scapegoat after that, but I guess something had to be done. I suppose it did need a little change.
At this point, I think I'm going to switch to 4-1-4-1. And so I'll bring in one more midfielder, one more central midfielder. The reason is because United have gone more physical. You can see the changes I've made. I've brought in a left midfielder, I've brought in a right back as a right midfielder. And the reason is because I need the right back to keep an eye on Sanchez, and I need the left midfielder to be able to run as well, and then keep Ashley Young at the back so he doesn't come forward. So I'm doing this because the end of the game is coming, and United have brought in Fellaini, and we all know the kind of person Fellaini is. So in order to combat this physical midfield, I have to go to the sides so that I can also stretch the midfield wide and prevent a proper communication between them. So let's continue.
Adrian Silva. Your impression so far, Jim?
There's a lot of football still to be played, Peter, so ideally they need to maintain an attacking endeavour.
Iheanacho. De Gea deals with it effortlessly. Lingard. Ndidi is on a run down the left wing.
There's a real appetite from them to finally put this game to bed, but will they?
So I'll just
Speculative strike.
come on.
That will sail harmlessly past.
Adrian Silva put absolutely everything he had into that. Maybe better look next time.
Well positioned to make that interception. Just a few more moments for them to hang on. Played
So
down the
if you see
flank.
now the wing plays,
He's got away. Can he
bringing in.
finish?
Oh man.
I think it's time for them to concentrate on closing this one out.
The final whistle. Terrific contest. It really might have tipped either way. The margins were tiny, just a goal in it, but that was enough.
And there's a lot more to read into this game than just the scoreline.
Well, that's it from us. Thanks very much, Jim. It's a very good day to you from both of us.
So thanks for watching, and please subscribe or leave a like so I know everyone is interested in what I'm doing. Thank you.